Hi guys, good day. It's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is all about the history of measurement and non-standard units of measure. So without further ado, let's do this topic. Now we do have three systems of units of measure. Number one, we have the traditional or non-standard. Number two, we have the English system. And number three, we have the metric system. Now in today's video class, we'll be focusing on traditional or the non-standard. Now I have here some following questions. Number one, what are the disadvantages of non-standard units of measurement? Number two, why is accurate measurement important in various professions? And number three, can you think of situations where incorrect measurements could lead to problems? Now, before we answer this one class is we need to understand more with regards to the history of measurement and what is non-standard units of measurement. Now, what is a measurement? Now, measurement is a fundamental aspect of human civilization, and its development has played a crucial role in shaping our understanding of the world. Now, the origins of measurement can be traced back to the ancient civilizations. In Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, early humans developed primitive systems of measurement based on the body parts or natural objects like grains and stones. Now, a long time ago, class, the people tend to measure an object using their body parts. So they are using their hands and their feet, as well as for the natural objects, they are using grains as well as the stones. Now, what is traditional or non-standard units of measurement? Now, non-standard units of measurement sometimes referred to as informal or customary units. These units of measure can vary from one person to another or from one region to another. Ancient Egyptians didn't measure things using centimeters and meters. They used cubits, span, and fingers. Now, let me just give you example class with regards to non-standard units of measurement. So example number one, for non-standard units of measurement, we have what we call the cubit. Now, cubit used by various Asian civilizations. The cubit was based on the length of a person's forearm to the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. So it was commonly used to measure lengths in construction and architecture. So this will be the illustration class for the cubit from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. So it's used to measure lengths in construction and architecture. Now our second example class for non-standard units of measure is what we call the span. Now the span was typically the width of a person's hand measured from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger. It was used for measuring cloth as the width was easily visualized by the human hand. So this will be our illustration class for the span. Once again, it's used to measure the cloth. So from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger. Now our third example class is what we call the foot. Now the foot, as the name suggests, was originally based on the length of a person's foot. It was a common unit for measuring shorter lengths in everyday life and construction. So this will be our illustration class. The foot is used to measure shorter lengths in our everyday life. Now our last example class for non-standard units of measure, we also have what we call the fathom. Now used by the sailors, a fathom equaled the span of a person's outstretched arms, typically about 6 feet. It was used to measure the depth of the water and the depth of nautical context. So this will be the illustration class. Once again, the person's outstretched arms is what we call the fathom. Now we also have non-standard units of measure in the Philippines. So number one example, we have what we call the kaban or kavan. The kaban is a traditional unit of dry measured used for rice. It represents a traditional volume of rice grain, often equivalent to 50 kilograms. Now, long time ago, class, for them to measure the rice, they use kaban. So if you have one kaban, it means you have 50 kilograms of rice. So nowadays, class, if we compare that one, it's like one sack of rice is equivalent to one kaban. Because one sack of rice, that's approximately 50 kilograms. So one sack of rice is equivalent to one kaban. So long time ago, class, we called that one kaban for 50 kilograms of rice. So another example class for non-standard units of measure in the Philippines is what we call the dipper or tabo. In rural areas, people might use a dipper as an informal unit of measuring liquids. It is often used for transferring water or liquids, and it's not precisely standardized. 1 tabo is often equivalent to 1 liter. So I know you're familiarized with this one class, 4 tabo or deeper. So we have that in our house for the tabo and deeper. So it's used for non-standard units of measure in the Philippines. Now, another example class for non-standard units of measure in the Philippines is what we call the tumpok. Now, this tumpok refers to a stack or pile of items such as firewood, bananas, or coconuts. It is not a precise measurement. It is commonly used in daily life for selling and trading goods. Now, a long time ago, class, people don't have the weighing scale to get the exact measurement of these bananas. So they will sell or buy these bananas according to the pile of items. Example, class, this pile of bananas, I will buy this 140 pesos. And this pile of coconuts, I will buy this 150 pesos. So I think, class, we still have that one nowadays in our generation, a pile of items, a pile of bananas. Then we will buy that one without getting the exact measurement. We will buy that one, example, 50 pesos. So we call that one tumpok, class. I hope it's clear for you, class, with regards to tumpok. Without getting the exact or the precise measurement, we can buy these items or we can trade these items according to the pile of items, and we call that one tumpok. All right, and then last example, class, for non-standard units of measure in the Philippines is what we call the step. So in some areas, people use the step as an informal unit of length. For example, they might say that a location is 2 steps away to give a rough idea of distance. Another example, class, if I will say Maria's house is 50 steps away from the school, therefore the distance of Maria's house going to the school, that is 50 steps away. Alright, so I hope you learned something new today, class, with regards to non-standard units of measure in the Philippines. So let's answer now the following questions. Alright, so question number 1, what are the disadvantages of non-standard units of measurement? So non-standard units can lead to errors in conversion, and it doesn't work well across different countries and different places. Now, question number 2, why is accurate measurement important in various professions? Now, accurate measurements are crucial as they ensure that the results are reliable. Inaccurate measurements can lead to significant problems, and it is important to understand the implication of such errors. Alright, so last question, class. Can you think of situations where incorrect measurements could lead to problems? So measurement errors can also lead to purchase of incorrect amounts of materials, sometimes delaying projects. Additional costs can force a project to go over budget, a scenario that might have been avoided with better measurement tools. Alright, so that's it, class. So I hope you learned something new today with traditional or non-standard units of measure. So the next part of our video will be English system, and I will just put the link on the description down below. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.